What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, club swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Andy, Anna, Bill, Frank, Georgia. Good morning to Jay, Jeffrey. We got JT, Kevin. Good morning to Lauren. We got Martina, Rob. The squad is piling in. We got Levy out in YouTube land. Good morning to you. All my lurkers in the background of YouTube. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe buttons. But CPI came out. The market likes it. It was pretty much in line, so not bad. Not a crazy reaction. We did go up a decent amount, but when I say not a crazy reaction, the spot I'm really looking for us to get some kind of close, and I'm hoping it comes today. But we got 498.48. Really, if we could get anything above that 600, would be fantastic. But I'm gonna lower my bar just a little bit, just a tad. So, yeah, if right now we're opening into support, it is a gap and go, just inside day, so nothing too crazy in regards to that. But maybe we could hang on to the support, and if we do, fantastic. We've already come down. We've already retested this 594.93. That's a little bit of a double-edged sword because we got there down. If we start losing this support, we start dripping down. That is going to be support, but it's a little bit easier to break through, and you still got this wide open gap on the SPY somewhere around 590.87. So if we have the good news from CPI that it's kind of just expected, we're just kind of we're on the right path, I guess, for no surprises at least. If today comes in and we do close a little bit lower, we can't hold that decent news. Then I think we more or less are looking at this 590.98 zone on the SPY. Other than that, if we can find some bulls, we can find some buyers, and 2024, we probably will, I would assume. Um, but if we can, then we're opening right here at support. We do have two levels. We got to try to break through. All of those levels, I think, are doable to break through. That's 597.89. And then we got 598.49. So somewhere up in that zone. And then especially if we get a close above it, I think that would be a fantastic look for momentum to kind of keep on pushing. So we will see. Let's check out the cues. Q's hanging out. Uh, I think the Q's rallied a little bit off of, yeah, so far we're back to where we reported. So we had the earnings come in, expectations, the market loved it. We started to pull back. We're essentially right around. We're not quite. We have to come down a little bit further. I don't really want to. Don't make me. But we come down a little bit further. That would get us back to where we reported those numbers. We also have today's VPOC sitting, or current VPOC at least, 511.82. So I don't really want to see that breakdown. We do have, yeah, even to get to that 511.82, we still have today's current VPOC lower than this 512.29. And we're opening into some kind of support. So with resistance right above us. Um, Again, not bad news on CPI. Now we have to see if we get that momentum and just kind of push us a little bit higher. Otherwise, it's kind of looking like a little chop day so far on the cues. Unless we could get those bulls stepping in. I see Tesla in there, Kava, Nvidia. If you guys got tickers you want to see, let me know. Yeah, Levy wants to take a look at Tesla as well. We'll start with that one. After hours. This one's been pretty active after the market was closed. So we had after hours last night, kept sinking. We got down to 321.69. My price target was like 318 for the next VPOC, so we didn't quite hit that. Got close to it. But then we have a good gap up today, mainly based on the fact that Trump announced, ironically, that Elon will be ahead of the government efficiency. So he's going to be in charge of Department of Government Efficiency. So acronym for that is the Doge. So Elon is now head of the Doge, also with Vivek as well. So both of them going to head that up together. But this is just trading on Elon news essentially. So you got a good gap up on that one. We did start to fade it, and then so we've already pulled back. We didn't quite even get into. I guess we got into a little volume zone, nothing too crazy. Had to hold on. And we'll see on this one. Let's see what the daily looks like. How much more room we got. Again, I don't think it has anything to do fundamentally with the company. The one thing too, though, where one of you guys brought this point up, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty interesting. I can see how some investors might be thinking like that too. Where if you have Elon now taking on more roles, more tasks, that's less time for Tesla. So whether he can still get the job done or not is a whole different story. But it's definitely diverting some of his attention away from here. So if you're invested in the company, you're like, I prefer a CEO that's just fully invested. I don't know if Elon was ever fully invested as he has six other companies that he's running. And then he's got to tweet 100 times a day. So I think he could probably do it. He could probably take on the new role and still run Tesla. I'm not really personally worried about it, but I can see how that could be a little fear. But for right now, they're loving it. Again, you got more and I know they're going to take away or they're trying to take away the Department of Education, but then also I think Vivek and Tesla are in charge of just kind of government efficiencies, taking away a bunch of regulations. And what regulations does he know better than anything involving clean energy, car companies, solar? I think he's pretty well informed on all of those things and has probably been frustrated a few times on getting held up with a bunch of stuff. So overall, probably a good thing for Tesla. And right now the market is kind of showing that too. But I think it's kind of trading like DJT would trade on Trump news at this point. So otherwise, you got your resistance up at 346.98, same as yesterday. We did put it in a lower VPOC. No, same as 2 days before. We did put it in a lower VPOC yesterday, down into 329.08. So I'm looking for that to hold. We did not quite get down to my 318 zone, 317.83, 318.34, somewhere around there. But we did close this first gap up here. So we came in, we hit that candle, we did get a bounce, didn't quite get all the way where I wanted it to. We'll see if it wants to hold up, but we're gonna have to start taking out this 346.98 zone. Otherwise, you do have a wide open gap all the way back down to, I don't know if we get there, but 251.86. I know Tony put out a pretty good video yesterday on Tesla of kind of what he was thinking on it. I liked what he was saying. He was saying swing trade long. He's bullish on Tesla. I'm like, yeah, I vibe with that. You do have this wide open gap down here too, 218. I don't know. That seems like a tough one if we get down there. But he was looking for somewhere around 300. So yeah, that would take us into my last level before closing the gap. Comes in at 289.38. We'd be getting pretty close to some of those moving averages. And then if we do close that gap, that would be down to this 252.96 zone. So we'll see. So he's still staying bullish, but more or less trying to day trade it to the bear side. So I could see that. I can see that on a pullback, but it is Tesla. We talked about it yesterday. It's a tough one. Tough one to break down. We've got Nvidia. Pretty spectacular gap. Look at that raging 150 right above us. Otherwise, you still have an inside day. This one's clearing all types of resistance. I think the last resistance on this one put us up at 148.26. We had some trouble kind of closing above that. Now you're gonna give me the open above it. If this thing turns into a bearish engulfing candle today, again, I think then you get some selling pressure coming into this market. If we could hang out above it, then we probably fly into earnings, which is now not that far away. That came up quick. So we will see. That's next week, next Wednesday. All eyes on Nvidia. Otherwise, being that it is an inside day, I'd say if we could pull back a little bit, see if we can run into this 148.34 zone. Probably have some buyers, some support, or at least anybody that was wrong on that last short, closing out their positions, help boost it up. So I'd see if we get a little pullback, but that looks pretty fantastic. I put a bunch of other stocks that to me also look decent, pretty high on my list already for today. So we've got a lot of decent ones. We'll run through as many of those as we could. Kava, and then we got a firm. Did Kava report earnings? I believe they did. Yep. So they came in with earnings. They beat by only 35, almost 36% earnings per share. So they were estimated to come in with 11 cents. They came in with 15 cents earnings per share. And then they did beat a surprise of 10.7 million to the higher side. Beautiful looking gap. Is this all-time highs? I can't imagine it's not. Let's see. Yeah, all-time highs on that one. Uh, uh, okay. I don't know if I want to touch it. You got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Nine green candles and one kind of down resting candle. Didn't really break down anything. So we'll go 10, 11, 12, 13 months in a row. All bullish. Yeah, they still got that short float, 11%. I don't know who in the world is hanging in still. Not a happy day for those short floats, though. Those people short on Kava. And it's crazy because the stock market is different than an actual business. They might be 100,000% correct, and this business is the worst business in the world. I don't think so. Probably overvaluated, but the stock market is the stock market, and it will chew you up if you are wrong on something and just refusing to get out. Don't be stubborn in the market. That's quite the gap. Again, everybody's profitable. Every single person's profitable in that gap. It is Kava. You do have 11% short float. I would sanely say that this thing probably ends up fading. However, 11% short float, it's either a lot of people made money or you got a lot of people to squeeze out still, and this thing goes higher. So I don't know where we're going on this one. This one, this is tough. I think that 11% short float, it's a man eater. I think that 11% short float takes us higher, to be honest. Uh, I know me coming in, I don't even want to short this one, so you're not going to get my shorts coming in. I think I'd rather just either go long or wait for pullbacks and see what happens from there. I think shorting this is a deadly game, but we'll see how this one. We'll see what this one wants to open at. Let's see if we get any pre-market support. We do. We have a little bit of pre-market. Look for. I've got the current VPOC at least 169.97 right in front of 170. That is a little bit of a whole number. You did get through that at one point. But maybe starting to get above that, that causes some more shorts to panic a little bit and just continues to squeeze up higher. Otherwise, anything below that, I'd stay either neutral or to the short side. And I think you guys already know I'm just probably going to be neutral. But yeah, good gap. Good gap. Let me see. I missed one up here. Affirm. That one looked good as well. So that one looks like it probably continues. Um, and I'm going to put an asterisk next to that. Probably continues. It does have a lot of room still on it. But again, you have a beautiful looking gap. Lots of bulls now in this thing that are profitable out open. So maybe we get a pullback. I think longer term, that's enough of a gap for me to be confident that this thing does go higher. At open, though, probably I think I'm going to want to say we get a pullback into 56.86 would be a good spot to try it, or best spot to try it. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, good looking hammer. We talked about that one a couple days ago. It's right on the 20. Got a good break, good solid close, one resting day. Even that one, Bulls really couldn't take a break, and they just ended that one up green, so you couldn't even get a red resting candle. And now you have a gap up. I think this one probably fades. It's got room to go higher, but if it pulls back a little bit, or I'll even just because it is a firm and everybody wants all of these companies or retailers love these companies right now at least. So if we get a high wave on this one, just give me some kind of pullback and then something I can take a break on. That might be worth it for some continuation. It's up there, but on a daily picture, if we flip it to that monthly, we still have we're not anywhere close to all-time highs. I don't know if we get back to this 177, but I don't think I'd put it past this market. So that gives us some good risk reward on a longer term basis. And just figuring out how to get into it now and surviving before they drop the hot potato. All right, let's see. Shopify, SHOP. Was this another one? I didn't throw this one on the list. So yeah, you have a little reversal candle, wide open gap. You're still hanging in where you might get good risk reward to a bull direction with targets up to 111.97. I think I'd be cautious on this one. I would love to see this one kind of come down a little bit more. I don't know if we fill that gap, but the gap is all the way down to $90.51. Is this another one at not all time highs? We got plenty of room to kind of cruise on up to like the 135 zone. So you have some room on this one, but you do have a reversal candle. I think if you start breaking down that one, you might have some people, I think, running to the exits or at least for a little bit, couple days of sell off maybe, and then I think it might give you a better opportunity to get in that. Again, do you want to short it? Maybe you could short it. You do have some room down to 90.44. I'd probably be looking at that $100 hold number. Wendy's a little braver than I am. Yeah, Wendy says I got to put already. Yeah. Just as much as you have room to the high side. I mean, if you're throwing your stop above this candle, somewhere around 115, we'll say 114.91, 115. I think if you start breaking out of that, or even use that VPOC 111.75, you could probably be out a little bit earlier if you start breaking somewhere above that zone as well. But you have good risk reward on it to the downside just as much as you have to the higher side. But I think this one, I don't know. It's not a crazy gap today. You're just kind of leaning off that momentum we had from yesterday. And if we get a pullback, I'd be interested. All right, we got Apple, AAPL, and Clarice wants Starbucks. Apple. Yeah, I feel like we've been in a little bit of a chop last couple days. We've been hanging around this 120 to not 120, 220, really 222 to 225 zone. Just kind of in there in that realm. So this one you're getting a gap down when the rest of the market, I believe the rest of the market is still moving bullish. Let's see. We didn't lose the SPY or anything, right? No, looks like we're just kind of S curving. Otherwise, look for support again on this one. Somewhere around 223.11. Maybe we could find some buyers to step in. But I think this one for right now, until we start breaking out of this channel that we're in, just sideways chop. I think you're just definitely trading to targets. You're just trying to buy it low and then sell it toward the high of that channel for now. So until we break out of that, that's where the next big move comes, either bearish or bullish. Not sure which direction we get yet, but we're just, I think, chopping sideways. I don't think it's anything too crazy. You're starting to get a little bit to the low side. Again, first spot I would watch somewhere around the 223 to look to go long. Otherwise, you might be able to get all the way back down to like 222.32. Higher side on this one, you do have some room if we could. Even with that, though, we got actually the next resistance somewhere around 224. If we could break out of that 224, that would probably take us up to like 227 maybe. But a little bit sideways for the last couple days. Not seeing any crazy gaps where I think that negates that sideways chop and we start to break today. At least not yet. Starbucks hanging in there. Oof. I don't know where this one's going to open. We're right at $98 for now, right at the bottom of that last kind of breakout candle. This is a retest candle. I'd watch this one at open. I don't think we break out of this bad boy from yesterday. We almost got up to that last VPOC somewhere around $100.73. To the lower side, if this thing does break. So if Starbucks gives us a high wave candle, a quick breakdown turns into an immediate bear trap, something to that extent, you might be able to play this one for a fade as you're still inside here. This is your retest, but I think your targets on this one for today would take you to about 98, 94. So I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to get a good risk to reward on it. I'd almost want to see it. And then, so if you're going to go short on this thing, your target's probably down to like 97.22. Again, you got about 80 cents in either direction on it. So not sure if that's a great risk to reward on it, unless you think anything crazy is happening with Starbucks. I don't see it yet. Otherwise, I prefer for it to break down, get into like the 97-22 zone, and then rally. But most likely, and then if you're gonna short this one, I'd be looking for like a 98-91 for a short side of it. But this is a good bullish breakout. We've had a good run on it. You got some divvies coming out soon. Ex dividend date November 15th. So you might have a little bit of bulls trying to hop in before ex divvy date. Those dividend players. So I'd prefer more or less to be bullish. But I think your short spot or at least resistance is around 98, 93. We gotta get a push past that one. Or a better spot, just be patient, wait for 97.23. Bitcoin 95. Let's see. Bitcoin. Did they make it up there? Oh, it'd be helpful if I could type in USD instead of coin at the end. Let's see. Great day for you got a good breakout candle, inside resting candle. Watch the highs. If you start breaking that highs, I don't know where it goes to, but we could throw out 95, 95K. We could assume that one. We got great support now being built in from today's VPOC. That's somewhere around 87,503. Don't want to see that get taken out if I'm bullish. Would love to see the high of this candle get taken out. The exact high on this one is 90,243. Watch for Coinbase. I think MSTR was already moving. Coin didn't seem to have a great reaction yet. At least earlier this morning. But you have yeah, this one's already gapping up. Again, retest gap. You're still technically inside that on Bitcoin, so maybe we could get the fade down here. And then you're looking for some support if we get it. We didn't even quite get there yesterday to that previous one, but let's see if we get some pullback, 349.20. But if from now in the next 6 minutes, we just start breaking out of yesterday's range on Bitcoin, we might not see a huge pullback on it. Let's see, Coinbase. Tesla for today. Andy coming in late, just derailing my entire show. Unbelievable, Andy. Unbelievable. Yeah, we'll pull it up again. We got Coinbase. Watch for you have still inside day. See if you get if we do get a pullback. Watch for 318.55, and then to the high side you got 328.73. I want to see that get taken out for continuation, but I will probably need Bitcoin to get taken out as well around that time too. Tesla kind of just choppy today. We're still a little bit range bound. We're at open. I don't know if I want to take any immediate action. Otherwise, if this thing runs up bullish, watch for 346.85, somewhere around there for some kind of resistance on this. Otherwise, I think we still really did not, even though after hours we got kind of close. We got down to 321. I was really looking for 318.26. I think right now you still have kind of your risk reward in a bearish direction on a pullback. But you have to be aware of yesterday's VPOC 2 328.74. So a little bit choppy out of the gate. I let it do its thing. If you get up to this 346.85, it's Tesla. Elon had good news yesterday. It might be able to get up there, but that's the spot where maybe a short could come in. I wouldn't short here, it's just too soon, and Tesla's wild. Or if you get down to yesterday's low, maybe that's a spot you look for some kind of a bounce. But for right now out of the gate, probably not much. We'll see how that rolls, but they were trying to buy it. The other ones I was kind of looking at pre-market. We'll see if anything changes. We were right at not yesterday's, but the VPOC from November 7th on Amazon. This is about 20 minutes ago. So far, it's kind of faded down. I was seeing if we can get a little bit of a push higher than that, and then I think you get some more legs on that one. Otherwise, your buying opportunity for a spot on Amazon, I think you got 209.14. Otherwise, you're looking for yesterday's VPOC, which is probably where I would try to hold for, but 208.38 would be my zone to see if we could get into that, and then you got to hope for kind of a break out of that last resistance up there. So we'll see on that one. And you kind of looked a little interesting before, at least when I threw it at the top of the list. You were sitting right at that 200. We got a good bounce off there. Nice hammer. Maybe that might be one for a swing trade off that 200. That would be taking a break somewhere around like 105.15. So add that to maybe your swing trade list if you want to take a look at it. Otherwise, if you're not waiting for a breakout, the closer you get to this, and we are opening to a little resistance, so maybe this can get one more fade back down. We'll see. It's already jumping around pre-market, so but there you go. Now we're right at that 200. So that might be an interesting buy spot for MU out of the gate. JP Morgan looks decent before. I don't know if we get a crazy move today, but still inside day candle. You've had a few red days in a row, so you do have a bullish engulfing, bullish gap and go on this one. Targets, I think would take us up to 245, so you get about $4 move. Again, probably be a little patient. I'd go high wave candle, I think, on this one, but more or less, if we get a pullback into we'll call it 240 even, but about 239.98 on that one look good. Zillow, at least pre-market look good. That one's kind of pulling back. We're in a little chop zone now, so we're just kind of hanging out. But if we could break 75.28, I kind of still like that for continuation, especially with inflation just being kind of in line. I think Zillow, maybe O might be a good one today too. So we'll see on that one. And then Upstart looked decent too. You came down to a good location yesterday. I think if you start breaking yesterday's candle out, then you probably are looking for this gap fill. Otherwise, it's going to be one of those stocks that retailers just can't get enough of for the moment. And we are above yesterday's VPOC. Again, probably a high wave candle on this one, but I got targets up to like $80. So that could be a decent move, decent range on Upstart. So those are the ones I was kind of looking at personally pre-market. Santilla says last night Tesla calls will make money today. Yeah. And then Ulti. Is that Ulta? Ulta has ex-dividend tomorrow. Announced 89 cents a share. What's up, Ina? Ulta Beauty, yeah, that one's kind of chilling for now. Again, just the beauty industry. Nobody wants to be beautiful anymore. Just all natural, I guess. But they're still getting clobbered. For well, historically from the highs at least. Haven't really broken out his range. You have that 200 coming in on you. Are they going to announce their divvies? I'm not too sure on that one. I don't see anything or hear or heard of anything yet, but still kind of chopping on this one at least. We shall see. Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty good. It takes us right into that opening bell. So everybody out on YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe buttons. Otherwise, you guys are awesome, and I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Later, guys. Oh, I got some clapping at the end.